He goes in the second term. Umpire in Graham Munro starts the second quarter with a shocking bounce.
Yeah, Peters, he's being tackled there. Looked like McLean butters up, goes in towards the direction of Bertelmeiser, but Stefanovski comes out, takes the ball. He's been tackled now. Gets the handball out to Greenwood, who's got space on the outer side of the ground. He goes looking for and finding his teammate out there. Looked like Bird, was it? Bird
yes, it
couldn't
was.
trap the mark. Berryman goes in hard. Trying to pick up now looks like Balasil. Oh, heavy tackle there on the Mottawarri player, but it's not paid to Walsh. Kick over the shoulder there in the direction of Mick Thompson, the captain coach. Eventually it spills out to Bird. He's quick with hands, gets it off to Walsh again, back into the middle of the ground. Good tackling by Peters, puts the pressure on. In goes Mick Wood, goes into the forward line, but we see the ball go out of bounds on the outer side of the ground.
Very impressed. Good set up there by Philip Walsh, but very impressed with that number 2, Guernsey, breaking through at half back. He's done it on a few occasions that first quarter is Sean Phillips, and what a great piece of football. Unfortunately, the kick wasn't quite as good, and he's put it out of bounds on the defensive side of Western Oval, some 40 metres from the Mottawarri goal.
And it's going to be hard for them to score from that side of the ground, so they'll try and work it back into the middle here as they can. Stefanovski's out there doing the ruck work. Greenwood's gone back to mine Bertelmeiser. Up they go. Big Moose pushes him out, but then drops the ball. He's tackled there by Stefanovski. Hood with quick hands to O'Leary. Now it's Stefanovski, goes towards centre wing where Mick Bird's out in front. He can't take the mark. Perello takes possession, tries to go off the ground. Eventually it spills out towards the captain coach there in Mick Thompson. He shuffles it back inside where it looks like the fellow there with the ponytail, was it, for the eastern suburb side? Peter Bird, I think.
Yeah, Peter Bird it is. There's a couple of ponytails out here this afternoon for respective sides. Bird wearing 6 for eastern suburbs, and likewise Neil Smith wearing number 13 for Mottawarri. The ball's been kicked hurriedly. I think you'll find it's Glenn McLean, the deputy vice captain for the Mottawarri side, gets the mark at half-back, brings the ball back into the centre of the ground as rain starts to tumble down, and Mick Bird drives them into attack.
He goes in the direction of Russell, who's drifted down from his wing. It spills out to Hovey. Hovey has a long kick at goal. He's been put down after he kicked it. The ball's gone out of bounds on the full, and the rules state he'll come back and have another kick from whence he was.
Correct call. Tassie Hodgson and, Dean Watson, the defender on that occasion, can't believe the free kick because he did have the ball when contact was made. But umpire Phil Dower suggests it was after the act of kicking the footy, and Hovey now shoots from 40 metres.
Goes to the square looking for Leeson, but coming over the back is Reuter and punches that one through for one behind. So Stefanovski will bring it back into play again for Eastern Suburbs as the rain doesn't look like we could get too much of it, but it's coming down fairly heavily at the moment. Stefanovski goes short, looking for and finding a teammate there in Darryl Rowbottom. Rowbottom has one bounce and then kicks towards the wing where it looks like O'Leary up against Russell. Russell takes possession, goes with the left foot with an awkward-looking kick in the direction of Bertelmeiser. Out in front, Stefanovski dumps it towards where Hovey runs onto. It's taken by Watson. Through the centre he goes with a kick out towards, that's O'Leary out the other side. Oh, good defence there, running out in front of the direction there of Hovey against Thompson, and Thompson can't quite pick it up, but he forces that one out of bounds, out of side of the ground. We'll have a throw in. I called there 26 for the Morris Stevenson. I mixed him up with O'Leary, but it was Stevenson who was putting Russell under pressure.
Certainly, as we see that our director, Noel Fanning, makes a welcome return back to the Western Oval, and he'll give us an update of the reserves game up there at Newtown later on. As we see at quarter time in Newtown, they're 3-5 leading Lara 3-4-22.
On the outer side of the ground, Hood's picked up at half-back. Gets the handball off to his coach Thompson, over to his brother Graham Thompson. He runs around one, kicks towards centre wing. Out comes Reuter, he can't mark. Eventually it's Big Bird, gets it down to his running player there in Phillips. Back into the centre of the ground, but Watson takes the mark and plays on. Goes over the top with a handball to Morris Stevenson. It bounces out in front of him. He finally picks it up and now goes forward looking for Reuter there. He comes out, he can't mark. Good pressure from Jackson, but O'Leary chips in. Picks up with a one hand, runs into an open goal and has put it just off line and through for one behind.
1 goal, 1, the personal tally for Mick O'Leary. Umpire Munro comes over, has a chat there to Robbie Reuter and Michael Wood. Nothing serious, the all clear has been paid. Other half-time score, St Joseph's 4-1-26, leading I should say quarter-time score. St Joseph's leading North Shore by 12 points.
Mottawarri bring it out of defence. They go in the direction of McLean. He's got a paddock. He plays on, goes to centre wing where Russell Meeson comes out also. Meeson can't quite take the mark. Greenwood tries to butter up. It bounces out in front of him. He eventually takes it and runs back into trouble, but he's good enough to get it. Quick kick out towards the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in centre wing with Eastern Suburbs just into attack. 16 plays 26, Eastern Suburbs leading. Big fella Mick Bird will do the ruck work here up against Reuter. Coming over the back is Mick Wood, punches towards the direction there, but picking up for Eastern Suburbs is Calvin Gray, goes to St Arthur. Berryman's got a chance to defend, but he can't pick it up. Out comes Reuter, puts the pressure on. Phillips goes in against Perello. Eventually Perello tries to hit it out. He does so. It comes back to him. He finally gets it out, but Jackson's the player there for Mottawarri. Goes towards Meeson, but Hood drifts across, doesn't take the mark. Greenwood to Watson. Watson out of sight of the ground, finds Stevenson. Stevenson takes the mark. Oh, that's O'Leary. I'm getting them.
Very similar, aren't they?
They are very similar. That was O'Leary. Goes towards Treblecock. Eventually McLean has been pushed off the ball there, and a free kick will go to number 30, and that's Glenn McLean.
And the rain really is tumbling down at Western Oval. That may assist Eastern Suburbs, who had first use of the bruise, because normally it will die after a good downpour. Let's see what happens now. Oh, coming through McInnes. Hit Greenwood with everything. Now the ball kicked up by Robbie. I don't know if it's Andy Reuter. Lost the footy, ball very slippery. Harriet now come out, tries to tap it forward, sharked by Vicky Thompson, hand passes to the square, it bounced clearly for Robbie Reuter. He pivots, shoots it down, all clear.
And good build up there from the Eastern Suburbs side. Once again, O'Leary being a good player for them, forcing the ball forward on many occasions. Probably 6 minutes into the first quarter, and he's had probably that many possessions, so they're going to have to do something with him. He's playing on this side of the ground, working from half back. He pushes himself into the centre and then pushes out onto this wing, and he's been a loose player for them all along. And as I see him go back to the centre half back position, he's still not being picked up, so surely the Mottawarri bench picked that up.
Let's hope so. Eastern Suburbs 5-2-32. They lead Mottawarri 2-4-16. 16 points the margin. 8.5 minutes of travel of the second quarter. Sandy brought you by Double Wire and Jess Video.
Coming close to third to the half-time score now. Essendon lead by 15 points, 9-5-59 to Geelong 7-2-44.
Back in the centre, Russell's got possession, but the umpire's going to call this one back. Looks like Harriet out there. So Harriet. Perello minding the mark. Harriet comes out to this member side of the ground. Looking for Russell again. Up they go. Good spoil there from Stevenson. In they go. It's picked up by Rowbottom. Eventually the handball comes out to Mottawarri. They've got a chance, but Stevenson's good enough to clear. O'Leary out on this wing on his own, but he goes to the outer side of the ground and finds his teammate Peter Bird. Bird goes to half forward, looking for Peters. A race on here between Peters and looks like McInnes. He pushes it out to the direction of Reuter. Reuter goes on the left foot, looking for Treblecock. Treblecock, it looks like McPhee down there. Can't take the mark. Again, it's McLean. Good handball to Jackson. Jackson tries to kick the outer side, but it's a bad kick into the centre of the ground. Both Stevenson and Hood overrun it. Eventually, it's back to Hood. He shuffles the handball out in his own team's direction and runs back onto it. Tries to go off the ground, and the umpire comes in and says, you've been pushed in the back, Graham Hood, you can have a free kick.
This fella really going for the football, and well-deserved Graham Hood for mine on the left foot. Looks to the lead up there, O'Leary. Could have been pushed by Dwayne Welch. No free kick forthcoming as Mottawarri now to defend grimly. Coming out, and that looks like the big fella, the Moose, Paul Meeson, goes over the top with a constructive hand pass to the ever-elusive Rover in Troy Hovey. Punched it up the half forward, looking for Michael Meeson, but a great job there in defence for the Eastern Suburbs side. Julian Norman pumps it over the boundary line and out of bounds at half forward for the Mottawarri side.
And the one thing the Mottawarri side have got to do, they're kicking into their big blokes in the forward line, but their little blokes have got to push up underneath it, especially now that the rain's here and it's freezing. And this is where the small players take over, and we see Thompson go shortly as Stevenson marks centre wing. Stevenson goes forward now, looking for Perello. Out in front, Greenwood's a chance. Greenwood can't mark. Tries to force it forward. Eventually we'll see it out of bounds through the agency there for Mottawarri, Mick Harriet, and we'll have a throw in. So conditions are very greasy, and Mottawarri small players will have to get their foot on the accelerator as the big tap out comes from Bird. Looks like Harriet again, out towards Bird. Mick Wood goes in, he can't take possession. Perello off the ground. McLean's a chance for Mottawarri, can't pick up. Good pressure from Peters, and Peters tries to shuffle the handball out, but it's a little too late. Umpire says, give it to me, Ronnie, and I'll ball it up.
Strong work, Johnny Perello. Uses the body well, as we see the ball now. Reuter goes up to ruck work uncontested. Sharked by Philip Walsh, or the chest mark dropped by the Moose Mason. As you see now, the ball kicked off the carpet, tumbling towards the centre wing, member side of the Western Oval, and it just beats Molly Stevenson, the attacking wingman for the Eastern Suburbs side, and we'll see about his throw in right in front of the comedy position.
So here we go, it'll be up they go. Big tap down from Stevenson, goes towards Greenwood, gets it back out to Stevenson. Mick Wood's there, he's a chance. He takes possession, keeps it in play, and then goes with a long kick towards Russell. Russell drops what he should have taken, and Hood picks up, but good play by Russell. Regains possession, goes with the left foot towards Bertel Miser. It's big Mick Wood, is it? It comes out in the direction there of the ponytail Smith. Smith over his shoulder, this one could run. It's bouncing towards the goal. Rowbottom gets back, picks up, goes with the right foot where he's been put down after he got rid of it, and a relay free kick will go to Greenwood.
Well, Moose Mooseman was dragged there down to ground by Rowbottom, but the umpire's gone against the Moose and said that you charged him, and Greenwood gets the free kick now up the ground at half-back. The high flyer there was Walsh, comes to ground by O'Leary, kicks it to half-forward. Now, the Perello push. Oh,
down he goes. Perello's got the heavy one.
Well,
the hook's coming out.
Oh, the
Call that one. By Phil Dower. That's terrible umpiring.
Well, it was a beautiful hip and shoulder by young Dale McGuinness. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. And, well, Johnny Perello's copped it on the chin as he spun into the tackle. And Mick Thompson comes in remonstrating with McGuinness, but I don't think he can say too much.
He can't say too much at all, Mick Thompson, and I'll tell you something now. All they have to do is take the video on Tuesday night or whenever they're going to have the tribunal, and Dale McInnes will get off that charge. That's terrible umpiring in a final.
Yeah, and he's been set off the ground, and well, that's disappointing.
That's bad umpiring. We see Frank Nofi warming up. McInnes comes off the ground. Mottawarri didn't need that, so things just not going the way of Mottawarri at the moment. As we see Perello, he's in a bad way there. He hasn't moved, so this is the second stretcher we've had out on the ground here, and we haven't even got to half-time yet, so it's going to be an interesting game when we review it at 5 o'clock, Ronnie Rain.
Yeah, certainly will be, Tassie, and, well, that's unfortunate for both players, Dave Cook and Johnny Perello. No one likes to see anyone get injured, but on that occasion it was fair and square. That's part of this great game of ours, Australian rules football, as we see the time clock ticking away. It's about 17... No, there it is. It's, 13 and a half minutes have travelled of this second quarter. As we see that Eastern Suburbs 5-2-32, leading Mottawarri 2-4-16. Johnny Perello now being taken from the ground. Frank Nofi on the ground now for the Eastern Suburbs side as the rain continues to tumble.
It's better on the roof. Looks like Eastern Suburbs. It certainly is better than the roof at Ocean Grove. O'Leary tried to take that kick, but it's going to be Graham Hood who'll take it with the left foot as we see Perello carry off, and they'll miss Perello because he was a good player at the heavy going there. So Perello comes off the ground, they're taking him straight to the club rooms. He's been replaced by Nofi. In the meantime, Hood tries to take his kick, but the umpire says, come back and we'll have another go, fellas. So, yeah, that could, they'll miss Perello out there. He was doing a lot of heavy work.
A lot of heavy work for them, yes, and a big loss for the Eastern Suburbs side. Just waiting now on umpire Munro. He's directing the player in Graham Hood, who's got the free kick taken on behalf of Johnny Perello. He's at half forward, 55 metres from goal. A lot of talking and disappointing, and I don't know what's going on at the present time. As we just wait now on umpire Munro, who blows time off. Graham Hood now comes out on the left foot, tries the torpedo, but it's not a good kick. Or the bouncing ball, well trapped by Jackson, or dragged off it. Good support, Jordan Phillips. And Phillips kicks it off the carpet. Good defensive football and goes straight to the boundary line, some 50 metres from the Eastern Suburbs goal on the outer side of Western Oval.
And as that was happening, Mortis come onto the ground to replace Nick Mason. So a little bit smaller. They're probably going for a couple of smaller players, and it's probably not a bad move as we see the ball shuffled out of bounds once again on the outer side of the ground, with Eastern Suburbs still doing the attacking. The Mottawarri, they'll need to get a hurry on here if they're going to stay in touch with this game. Here's the throw in. Up goes Big Bird. He'll go against Treblecock. Neither wins a decisive tap. Eventually it's kicked out in the direction of Hood, and he marks on centre wing. Graham Hood, or half forward flank, a chance to drive his side back into attack. He goes long with the kick looking down there for Reuter. He can't mark. Good spoil. Then goes Mason. Eventually it's picked up by Watson. Goes with the right foot back in towards the forward line. Again, good spoiling from the Mottawarri defence as they bring it back to centre wing. But there's absolutely nobody out there, and Norman for Eastern Suburbs, plenty of time to relieve the pressure. Goes towards Thompson, opposed to McLean. McLean, good pressure.
Great tussle, that one.
Out of bounds, out of side of the ground.
Glenn McLean.
Glenn McLean.
Yep, wearing Mick Thompson like a glove. As we see Frank Nofi now on the ball for the Suburbs, doing work against Bird. Bird in front. Got it down, but O'Leary chips in for the Suburbs, punts it on the boot quickly to the teeth of goal. McPhee under pressure, but good football for the veteran. Goes straight to the boundary line, and Dave Peters can't get there in time. It's out of bounds, 10 metres from the Eastern Suburbs goal, and 16 minutes of travel of this second turn. Suburbs leading by 16 points as the ball off hand from that boundary throw in, and is forced through for another minor score. Onto the Eastern Suburbs scoreline, they now move to 5-3-33, leading Mottawarri 2-4-16 in what it's been a bit of a turn-up.
It certainly has been a bit of a turn-up, but still plenty of time for Mottawarri. Eastern Suburbs playing well at the moment. The kick comes back in from McPhee, goes in the direction of Russell. He's spoiled. Eventually it comes to the ground and is picked up there. Oh, good handball by McLean. Goes back towards Russell. He overruns it. Greenwood comes in. Oh, it's slapped his opposition player there across the face. The umpire doesn't see it. McLean umpire says, give it to me, fellas, and I'll throw it in again.
Ball now in between the Eastern Suburbs half forward flank and centre wing, a member side of the ground. Oh, the Moose did well there in that ruck contest, but the kick up poor one in front. Andrew Reuter, the resting ruckman, just a kick behind, but coming out taking a fine grab at centre half back for the Mottawarri Warriors is Pat Jackson.
And Jackson from centre half back goes in short and finds Walsh. Walsh marks, goes with the hands, good hands too, across to his running teammate there in Phillips. Phillips goes down looking for Ballasteel. He can't mark. Here comes Bertelmeyer. Big race here between Russell and Watson. Oh, kick off the ground by Watson. Eventually he butters up, picks it up, goes with hands to Greenwood. Greenwood brings it out, member side half-back flank with a short kick to Norman. Norman can't take the mark, forces it over the line, out of bounds. We'll have another throw in, one of many for the afternoon. Looks like Reuter to do the ruck work. No, it's going to be Norman. Pushes back on Mason. Norman goes up, punches it down towards O'Leary. He picks up, tries to go off the ground. Eventually it's, Pax Foreman here. Something's happening in the box here. Oh, we just pull the ball up, umpire. Give us a chance to take a breath.
Go on, yes, Tassie. You're doing a great job, son. And we see that umpire Munro now is going to bounce the ball 50 metres from the Mottawarri goal, and they definitely need one. Mason doing battle with Norman. Comes to ground. Pack of players have formed. Ooh, Graham Hood lucky not being penalised on that occasion for mine.
Well, I didn't go out to breakfast with you, Ronnie, but I know it's Dad now as we come back to the Western Oval here.
Don't look at me.
There's the bounce. Up goes Norman. Comes towards his own goal. Hit on again by Peters. Taken by Hood. Handball to Mick Thompson. Thompson goes with the kick to the half-forward flank. Looking for and finding his teammate Rowbottom. He's quick to play on. Goes short to Nofi. Nofi can't trap it. He eventually does. Goes back to Rowbottom. Phillips spoils. Busting through the pack there for Mottawarri and tackled when he didn't have it. Looked like number 23, was it?
Yeah, Walsh. Dwayne Walsh.
Dwayne Walsh. So Walsh will take the kick.
Very similar to Sean Phillips. Burst through the pack. Very strong, aggressive footballer.
Right,
he kicked those, a poor one, and a nice one-handed grab. Mickey Thompson, coach of the Suburbs, puts them back into attack.
They go into attack through O'Leary. Marks in front of Hovey and quickly plays on. Goes long towards the goal square and puts through his second behind for the afternoon. Eastern Suburbs move on to 5 goals for 34. They lead Mottawarri 2 goals for 16 and we've played 20 minutes into this second quarter.
Just waiting now. Ray McPhee brings the ball back into play, the full back for the Mottawarri side. Looks to Mick Bird, the big fella, butted up well. the direction of Mickey Harriet. Kicks off the carpet. Overrunning the ball there was Philip Welsh. He's still in there fighting for the Warriors. Taps the ball out, but there's no one giving support. Basilia comes in. Bryce Basile works hard, likewise does Mickey Thompson, paddles it forward as the umpire's whistle has sounded, and Andrew Reuter will get the free kick. And a 50-metre penalty to go to boot, and, well, he did grab him by the boot, didn't he, that player from Mottawarri in Mick Harriet, and you can't do that, Tassie.
You can't do it, but you can give a little bit in a final. So Phil Dowers give him the 50-metre penalty here, so brings him onto, he'll kick from probably 40 metres, slight angle. Taking plenty of time. So the big fella comes in. Kicks long to the goal square. They'll contest just inside the square. Up go goes. Eventually taken by McPhee. Tries to get a quick kick, but a good tackle there from... He's paid. What's he paid there? Gee, well, that was hot.
I don't know what he's paid, but umpire Dower has penalised Ray McPhee for something.
For what, we don't know. But anyway, it's a chance now. Looks like Rowbottom is it down there with a chance to kick towards goal. Deep in the pocket, he comes in, kicks. Umpire says one behind, so 5 goals, 5 now, 35 Eastern Suburbs, leading Mottawarri 2 goals, 4, 16.
21 minutes for the second quarter. Anybody's game of football yet, but still, Eastern Suburbs there handy 19-point leaders. Ray McPhee, this time elects to come to the members' side. Looks for Bryce Basile. Can't take it. Sandwiched between Graham Thompson and Dave Peters. The loose ball, Nofi's on hands and knees. Taps it forward, but it goes straight to Walsh. You handball straight to Peters for the Suburbs. He was dispossessed of the leather. Now Reuter comes in. That was Andrew. Gives it to Rowbottom, who's put down by Welsh. The loose ball now. So he's working hard for the Mottawarri side. Danny Mortar on the ground as the loose ball now in the back pocket, picked up by Troy Hovey and goes straight towards the boundary line with a very educated right foot grubber. And gains some 25 metres for his side. It's now 45 metres from the Eastern Suburbs goal out of sight of Western Oval.
Up they go, Big Bird up against Rowbottom. The ball goes in the direction of O'Leary. Good pressure there from Dwayne Walsh. Sees the ball out of bounds. So Mottawarri doing all the defending here. They need to split this up, get some goals on the board before half time. Here's the throw in again. Big Bird in front. Taps it down. It's taken by Hovey. Quick hands. Can't get it out. Eventually it's forced out, but only in the direction there with Peters. Eventually a kick off the ground goes to the outer-side wing where it looks like Reuter takes the mark, gives it off to Rundle. Rundle with the right foot goes back towards half-forwards. Bird's in front and Bird marks.
Yeah, playing very well, Mick Bird. Probably one of the bigger men on the ground here this afternoon. And Mick Bird now at half-back for the Mottawarri Warriors. Just set his proceedings down. Elects to go straight down the corridor, looks there for Russell, but Grant Greenwood using some strength and better judge on that occasion, takes it fine grab.
And he comes out the member side of the ground and finds his teammate there in Frank Nofi. So Nofi's got the ball half-forward flank. Goes long into the pocket looking for Treblecock. Getting underneath it is Graham Thompson, and Thompson has taken the mark in front of his teammate there in Treblecock. So Thompson, you go from probably 50 metres on the boundary, looks for a short option in Treblecock, but he's been covered. Still looking. He comes in now, he'll kick from 45, goes back, taking plenty of time. The lead comes from, looks like Reuter, and Reuter comes out and takes a nice mark in front of McPhee. So that was bad defence from the Mottawarri side. Has given Reuter a chance to have a shot, probably 30 metres out. The angle's still very acute.
Yeah, Robbie Reuter now, an opportunity. He's kicked 2 to 8 for the Suburbs. 30 metres out, 60-degree angle, pretty tight. The drop putter, which hooked it, I think you'll find, yes, to the left of the big stick and has put it through for a point. But Suburbs doing quite well in the second quarter.
Yeah, I think Mottawarri, they really need half-time here to just sit down and reevaluate things. They need to shuffle their side around, there's no doubt about that. So they'll be looking forward to that sign. They can just hold out here for a couple more minutes. The kicking comes towards Bird. He can't mark. Eventually it's thumped on, looks like Welsh. It comes out in the direction of Mottawarri there. They go to centre wing, giving chase out. There's Rundle, and Rundle sees that one over the boundary line and out of bounds. So Mottawarri slowly but surely working the way up towards their goal area.
Yeah, great clearing kick. It's gathered a good 70 metres there, and it's now in between the Mottawarri half-forward line and centre wing. Paul the Moose Mason doing battle with Julian Norman. Neither player took a real decisive tap. Comes to ground where it's sharked there by, you'll find that was Glenn McLean, but he was over prior to kicking the footy, and the boundary umpire will throw it back in again on centre wing. Well,
there's the throw-in. Big fella Meeson gets front position, tries to grab it out of the air. He can't take it. In they go. They all dive in top. Eventually it comes back to Meeson. Goes with a handball to Berryman. Berryman kicks long to centre forward looking for Russell. Russell out in front. Can't mark. It spills out there in the direction of Calvin Gray. He works on top of it. It's picked up by his coach, Mick Thompson. And Thompson goes in short and finds Reuter. So Reuter has got a chance now to steady things down. He's got no fear up this side. He ignores that. Goes to centre forward looking for Rowbottom. But chipping across and taking a nice mark there, looked like 23, Dean Walsh.
Dwayne Walsh it is, and he elects to come to the members' side centre wing. Mick Wood shows a bit of class, gets in front of his opponent and butters up and sends a nice pass down the throat of Neil Smith, who takes a fine grabber. Plays on quickly, looks up there to Russell, and that's got to be worth 50 metres.
Yeah, I think he's going to take him back. He certainly is.
Certainly should have to.
I think he's called him back.
That's he goes.
He's not
having
taking
a chat to Andrew Reuter, who just happened to make contact with Darryl Russell's head as he took the mark, and is very lucky not to be sent off the ground.
Certain goal from Mottawarri here as he comes in and pops that one over the top. The goal umpire says all clear. It's Mottawarri's much-needed third goal. So that was certainly the goal they needed before half-time, so they can reevaluate things, Ronnie, and settle it right down.
Yes, certainly, Tassie, as we see at the 25-minute mark of the second quarter, Mottawarri now 3-4-22, trail Eastern Suburbs 5-6-36, and well, it's 14 points, and Eastern Suburbs supporters would be quite happy with the team's performance today.
It's still in a very interesting game. We've got a long, long way to go in this one, and this next 5 minutes is going to be very, very vital, I think, for the outcome. Back in the centre, Big Mick Bird grabs it out of the ruck. He can't get a clear possession. Eventually it looks like kicking it out there was Walsh. Goes forward looking for, but not finding, giving away a free kick there was Smith, and then running away with it for Eastern Suburbs was Calvin Gray, but he only finds the waiting arms of Owen Berryman on the outer side wing. Berryman brings it back in the direction of Norman, tries to spoil. Eventually the kick comes from Walsh again. Now we've got a race on our hands. Bertelmeyer comes out, but Russell's quick enough to pick up. He'll run into an open goal. Here goes, bang, but it's just off line to the left-hand side and through for one behind. So Mottawarri just seem to be building up to something here, Ronnie, before our time.
Yeah, they certainly are, and gee whiz, Darryl Russell, you could have done a little better on that occasion because he had 20 metres on his favoured foot too. The left foot should not have missed from there. Mottawarri 3-5-23, trail Suburbs 5-6-36, and we're approaching 27 and a half minutes of the second quarter as the youngster who was sent off earlier, Dale McGuinness, warms up and ready to get back into the action.
Yeah, they've done well for that 15 minutes without him. As we see Greenwood kick in, they've moved Stefanowski out as another option on that kick out. Goes out the outer side and taking a strong mark out there. Looks like Andrew Reuter. Reuter goes to the outer side of the ground and finds a teammate in the clear there. That's Peter Bird. He goes back. He'll come back, have his kick. He does that. Goes to half-forward flank. Looking for, but can't find a teammate there. Down there was the big fella Rowbottom. Eventually Peters goes in. He tries to handball. The handball smothered and forced over the line, out of bounds, outer side of the ground.
Yeah, great work there, Sean Phillips, doing a top job as a bit of water coming in here, Taz. We'll just push that back and all's well. As we see now that the ball on the outer side, half-forward flank for the Eastern Suburbs side. Oh, Dave Peters comes through strongly. The hand pass puts Wood under a bit of pressure. He's still got possession, gets up from slipping, and now kicks quickly, as we see coming out strongly was Greg Treblecock. Couldn't take the ball. Likewise was Robbie Reuter there giving support, but the ball trundles over the boundary line again, some 50 metres from the Eastern Suburb goal.
So there's a throw in. Big fella Bird up again against Nofi. Nofi holds on, no free kick. Eventually it looks like Hood out there, can't take a clean possession. Hovey breaks free with it. Goes with a long kick to centre wing looking for McLean. Up they go, no mark. Eventually it's Greenwood with quick hands out to Thompson. Thompson back into the middle to Rundle. Rundle's got time to run off and steady. He does that and goes to centre half forward. Up they go. Only Motawarri back there. Big Bird drops what he should have taken, but he butters up. Eventually the kick goes into the arms of Thompson. He goes in again, Bird. Tries to force it out. Probably should have made something better of that, and we'll have another ball up.
Yes, and a little bit unlucky not getting a free kick there too. We've put the ground after the ball had gone, but umpire in Graham Munro will bounce. Bird flies, gets the ball towards Thompson though from Eastern Suburbs. He kicks it off the carpet. Mick O'Leary comes in to give support. Michael Wood also for Motawarri works hard, and is happy. I think you'll like to see it go over line and out of bounds. 45 metres from the Eastern Suburbs goal on the outer side of Western Oval, where we see that the Suburbs lead the Motawarri side by 13 points.
Frank Nofi wins the tap down. Ball still congested in there. Nobody can get it out. The umpire says, give it to me again, fellas. We'll put it down. So it'll be Nofi up against the big fella Bird from Motawarri. The bounce down, big Mick Bird. Oh, the umpire likes to throw it up. Bird gets the tap down, goes towards Peters. Eventually Thompson picks it up. Goes with the right foot. That was Graham Thompson. Nofi goes down towards Peters. Off the ground he goes. Out towards Rowbottom. Good defence there from the Motawarri side. Eventually sees Russell with the ball in the centre. Goes with a long handball to the running Owen Berryman. Berryman kicks a bad one, but it comes down towards Smith. Smith takes possession, breaks the tackle. Now he's got a chance to get through. He does that. He'll go with the left foot to Bertelmeiser. He comes out, can't quite take possession. Stefanovski's there with him, and he'll see it over the boundary line. Another throw in with Motawarri. Just seem to have picked up a little bit of the siren sound for half-time. The scoreboard here at the Western Oval, Eastern Suburbs, half-time, 5 goals, 6-36. They lead Motawarri 3 goals, 5-23. And that's half-time. It's what's been a very entertaining and interesting first half of football running.
Yes, certainly has, Kazzy. Goal kickers for both sides. Eastern Suburbs